Good morning, students. Welcome to this new edition of biology class of class 12. Today, we will start with the unit 8 and chapter 8. The topic of today is human health and disease. What is human health? Have you ever wondered what is actually health? You must have never thought about it previously. Today, I will tell you about health. What exactly is being healthy? You think you are free from disease, so you are healthy. But that is not all. To be healthy, you have to be physically, mentally, and socially perfect. That is, you're having no disease, you're physically fit, mentally fit, and even socially fit. So first of all, let us see what is health. We will define the health. The definition of health is being healthy, mentally, physically, and socially. The mental, physical, and social well-being of a person is known as health. So what is mental health? You are fit, you are able to think, you are able to talk properly, you are able to do all your functions properly. This is called mental health. Then physically, you are fit, you are doing everything. Physically, your hands are working, your legs are working, all your sense organs are working properly. This is you are physically fit. And what is socially fit? Social fitness, that means you are not doing any unhealthy activities in the society, like if you go on abusing people, if you go on fighting with your neighbors, your friends, your family members. This is called social ill health. Therefore, for being healthy, you should be physically, mentally, and socially fit. This is the definition of health. So, have you understood what is health? It is being socially, mentally, and physically fit. What are the important factors that are required for a good health? You must have not come across any such questions before. Today, you will know what exactly is being in good health. What all you have to do if you want to be physically fit, mentally fit, and socially fit. So first comes the physical fitness. If we are physically fit, we can be mentally and socially fit. So let us see what happens. Every day we eat food. We take different types of food and we think that we are taking a good diet, we are eating everything, but you are not aware that most of the time you are taking the wrong food, which is not recommended for you. So, your diet should be balanced. And what do you understand by a balanced diet? That means you should not go in a grocery shop and weigh your food and come back and eat it. Balanced diet means all your nutrition, all your nutritive things, the minerals, the vitamins, they should be in proper measures. That is, you should consume carbohydrate, protein, fat, according to the need of your work that you do, according to the physical and mental work that you do. Then what are vitamins and minerals? Vitamins are eaten in somewhat larger quantity and minerals are taken by our food in somewhat lesser quantity. So, the most of the part of a diet contains carbohydrate. Then comes the protein, which is very essential for the growth of our body, for the maintenance of our body, and for the replacement of cells of our body. Because our body is entirely made out of protein. So protein is very important. You should take protein. How much protein do you need to maintain your health? Say, if you are 50 kg in weight, you should take around 50 grams of protein per day in your diet through various things like dal, like vegetables, dry fruits, milk, eggs, curd, and those who are non-vegetarian, they can use meat and fish and poultry products. Fat is required in a very low amount and you should not exceed your fat content in your diet more than 30 grams. So, if your diet or the plate that you are eating today should contain a bowl of rice, a bowl of dal, some mixed vegetables like green vegetables, yellow vegetables, roots, tubers, and some fruit, some quantity of fruit, curd, and anything you like a dessert, a sweet dish. You can include all these things in your diet. Then you will have a balanced diet. And every day, if you take this type of balanced diet, you can keep healthy, physically fit. You will not be tired and fatigued very soon. And you can perform all your duties properly. Then comes good health is achieved by how can you achieve good health? After taking food, another very important point is that you should keep good hygiene. You should take care about the cleanliness of your body and clothes and environment where you live. Hygiene is the most important thing of a person's life to be healthy. So, after diet comes the hygiene, personal hygiene and personal awareness about the cleanliness of everything. So, after that comes vaccination. What is vaccination? Vaccinations are those injections you remember you must have taken in your early childhood or in infant stage when you were just about a month or 2 old as your parents took you to the doctor to be vaccinated for the different types of diseases like diphtheria, mumps, polio, whooping cough, and you got several types of vaccination. So, this is also very important for our life. Vaccination has saved millions of children dying before they reach the age of 1 year. So, vaccination was introduced for the children to keep them fit, healthy, alive. Now, how many diseases comes under vaccination? There are several diseases, measles, chickenpox, malaria. Now you see, we are facing a very dreaded disease called coronavirus. And doctors are working day and night to find out the vaccine that will be used for the people to get rid of this disease. So vaccination means to put some antibody in our body so that the virus that has entered will be killed and we will get rid of the disease. Now, to get or to achieve these goals, what are more important? First of all, we should be educated. Education is the primary thing through which we learn how to take a good diet, a balanced diet, or how to keep ourselves clean, or how to maintain our environment, keep good hygiene in our environment, and also our neighbors, how they should keep themselves good and healthy. We should teach the children, first of all, the personal hygiene. Personal hygiene comes the first. That is, what is personal hygiene? Personal hygiene is cleaning of your own self, taking bath every day, wearing clean clothes, sanitizing yourself, washing your hands, your mouth, your hair, and your entire body. This is called education for cleanliness. So this is required in our society. Then comes the vaccination. As I already discussed, what is vaccination? So you should keep in mind that every child who is born should be vaccinated for about 9 diseases for about 9 months. You take BCG vaccine, and there are several other vaccines for measles, for chickenpox, for diphtheria, for whooping cough, for typhoid, for tetanus, and number of them. So sanitization is also very important nowadays. You can see the government is very busy in your society. In the same way, you should also look after the sanitization, that is the cleanliness of your environment, the food, the water, the clothes, everything. And finally comes the eradication. What is eradication? Eradication is total, it is that we totally get rid of some of the disease. This is called eradication. Like you know, there was a dreaded disease called smallpox. Now you cannot hear about it. Why? Because we have eradicated smallpox from our universe, from our planet forever by vaccinating each single person. So eradication means getting rid of a disease totally from the planet. As we are doing now, we are trying to get rid of coronavirus from our planet. So what we are doing? We are finding out various ways, medicines, vaccinations to get rid of this dreaded virus. Then, I hope you have followed all this. What is health? Now you know very well that how to keep yourself fit by taking good food and keeping yourself clean and keeping your environment clean. So these are the ways how we can be healthy. Like you should be aware of the various types of vaccination, and you should vaccinate yourself from all the disease. Now we will see how many types of diseases are there. The disease, there are two types of disease, that is infectious disease and non-infectious disease. What is infectious disease and what is non-infectious disease? You must be wondering, both are diseases. So what is the importance of infectious and non-infectious? In both ways we will get sick, but there is a vast difference in these two types of disease. First of all, the infectious disease is that disease which is transmitted from one person to another person. That is called infectious disease. So there are many diseases which are transmitted from one person to another. It is very common to see that if you get cold and cough during the weather change and suddenly your brother also falls ill with the same disease. Why? Because you are infected with the common cold and the air is full of the viruses and your brother must have inhaled those viruses and he too got infected. So, infectious disease means a disease that is transmitted from one person to another. Now, what is non-infectious disease? There are hundreds of diseases which are non-infectious, but they also kill people. The most important or the most vast disease you can see is the cancer. This does not occur from one person to another, that you are touching the clothes of a cancerous patient and you got cancer. This happens inside your body due to some defect or some imbalance in your body cells. So, there are two types of disease. One is which is infected from person to person and another which happens in yourself itself. What is immunology? Immunology means you get yourself immune and your body has become so fit that you can fight with the viruses that is entering your body. So, to get yourself immune, what you have to do? You have to be very healthy, physically fit. For that, as I described earlier, you should take good food, healthy food, not the roadside foods that attract you. Then you should take daily exercise. Exercise keeps your body healthy. You should breathe in fresh air. Early in the morning you can go and do some jogging so that you will get fresh air, fresh oxygen, and then you can in this way immune yourself also by keeping physically clean yourself physically so that you don't carry with these diseases. Next comes cancer, HIV, AIDS. This we are going to discuss later on. But let us first see what are the infectious diseases. As I already discussed, the infectious disease is carried from one person to another. So there are so many infectious diseases. First one is viral disease. Viral disease, you know, those diseases which are caused by the viruses. And the latest one is the coronavirus. You are much aware about this. The viral diseases are polio. You must have seen many people earlier limping or they cannot walk properly. They have to use some crutches to walk. Why? Because polio, they are infected with the virus, polio virus. And now the government has made it a point to eradicate this polio virus from our planet. So you must have seen the Pulse Polio program organized by the government. The Pulse Polio program is being conducted by WHO, that is World Health Organization, to get rid of this polio virus from our planet. They are vaccinating the small children from time to time, and now we have almost reached our target that we have eradicated the polio disease from our planet, but still you can find some rare cases of polio in some corner of the world. So make it a point to vaccinate your children or small children in your family or in your neighbors, that they are vaccinated with the pulse polio drop, so that they get rid of this dreaded disease. Then comes the common cold. Common cold is really very common. Everybody is getting common cold every now and then due to something or the other. Maybe they must have gone out in the hot weather, in the cold weather, in the rainy season, and they have got cold. So, rhinovirus is a virus that is very common in the common cold. And in this disease, what happens? You are infected with the rhinovirus, you cough, you sneeze, and your nostrils, they breathe some liquid which is known as the cold. So, polio you have understood. What is common cold? You know it very well. It lasts for a few days. Common cold does not take a very long time to get cured. It lasts a few days. Then comes the measles. Measles is another viral disease that you have often come across. Many people are suffering from measles. It is a type of infection that your body takes. And then comes the rabies. What is the rabies? You must have all heard what is the rabies. Rabies is another viral disease which is most common in dogs. If a dog bites you, you can easily be infected with the rabies virus. So what is rabies virus? And if the dog bites you, after a few days, those viruses, they infect your body, and then you can be infected with the virus. Then comes the bacterial disease. Bacteria are somewhat bigger than viruses. So bacterial disease, there are several types of bacteria present in our planet, and they cause several types of diseases. Example, typhoid. Typhoid is the most common bacterial disease you must have come across, people suffering from typhoid. The bacteria that causes typhoid is Salmonella typhi. Salmonella typhi causes bacterial disease. So, typhoid is a very common disease. You get fever and then you get headache, your stomach starts aching, and you have high fever for many days. How will you come to know that you are suffering from typhoid? There is a test called Vidal test. After about 8 days, when you test your blood, you will find the Salmonella typhi in your blood, and then you can come to know that you are infected with the disease Salmonella typhi and you are suffering from typhoid. You won't be able to detect this disease on the very first day when you get some fever. It will take around 8 days so that these bacteria, they grow in your blood. Then comes pneumonia. Pneumonia is a very common disease. You must have heard people suffering from pneumonia. And how do we get this pneumonia? We get it from Streptococcus, another bacteria called Streptococcus, which helps in the disease pneumonia. Pneumonia. The symptoms are high fever for several days. You cannot breathe properly. Why you cannot breathe? Because your lungs with sacs that should be filled with pure oxygen are choked with mucus and the streptococcus. So it is very difficult for you to breathe. When you cannot breathe properly, you will have high fever and you will shiver. These are some of the symptoms. You will shiver, and in some cases, in a very, very dreadful case, the lips and the nails get bluish gray in color. The color of the lips, they change into bluish gray, and the nails color also change into bluish gray, and sometimes people can die from this dreaded disease. So pneumonia occurs due to the bacteria called Streptococcus. Then comes diphtheria. This is another bacterial infectious disease. Nowadays, due to vaccination, most of the people have got rid of this disease. Now you may not be hearing about diphtheria, but it was sometimes a very dreaded disease caused due to the inflammation of your tonsils. You know where are your tonsils? It is in the neck region, and they get inflamed, they produce pain. With high fever, you cannot eat or drink anything, and then maybe in some severe cases, patients used to die earlier. But due to vaccination, now they can cure this disease. Then you must have heard tetanus, one of the most dreaded disease to which many people died, in last century. Now we have the vaccination for tetanus, and we can get rid of this disease. Here also the symptoms are almost same. You get high fever, your body is developed into boat-like shape, and that's why it is known as tetanus. We can be vaccinated for this disease, and we are able to get rid of this disease. Then comes the Protozoan disease. The third one is in the infectious disease is the Protozoan disease. Example, malaria. The most common malaria you have come across many people suffering from malaria. Now what is this malaria? How it is caused? You must be knowing about it. That malaria is caused by the bite of the mosquitoes. But do you know who is the main culprit? It is the female Anopheles mosquito that causes malaria. So, malaria, the mosquitoes, they are responsible for this disease. This is called Plasmodium. The Plasmodium is the main cause of the malarial disease. Now, malaria or to be caused, it needs two hosts. Two hosts means two people will together cause this disease. The one is the most important culprit is the mosquito, that is female Anopheles mosquito. which is an invertebrate. And the other one is human host, that is the man, the vertebrate. So, malaria is caused by two hosts. First the mosquito and then the man. So how this cycle takes place, I will explain to you. Mosquito bites a human being. A mosquito and its female caterpillars have bitten a human being. And the sporozoid infects the human. Then what happens? These sporozoids are the parasites. They reach the liver of the human being. Then, in the liver of the human being, these parasites, they reproduce. How they reproduce? They can reproduce asexually. Then, this reproduction is asexually. They reproduce in the liver blood of the human being. Then what happens? The female mosquito takes gametophytes with blood. Then those gametophytes that reach the human body, they are taken by the mosquito, the female blood. Again, when this infected man is bitten by another mosquito, by then they have already reproduced asexually with several thousand gametophytes. And when another mosquito bites this infected man, then what happens? This mosquito carries some of the gametophytes with it. Then they are fertilized in his body. And again, when this infected mosquito who has collected the blood from the man again bites another man, then that man will be infected. So in this way, two hosts are required for the cause of the malarial disease. That is, one is the mosquito, the invertebrate, and other the man, the vertebrate. So you follow the simple cycle of the malarial disease. Mosquito bites the man, the parasite reaches the liver, then the gametophytes, they reproduce asexually. Again, from this human host, another mosquito carries the gametophytes. They are fertilized in his body, and again he bites another man. In this way, malaria is caused. Now we will see what happens in the fungal disease. Fungal disease is very common because most of fungal disease are some diseases called the ringworm, caused by the ringworm or the roundworm. You get fungal infection, you can see it in the advertisements in the TV that you got some rashes in some parts of your body, and this is caused by the fungus that is created in your body due to infection, due to sweating, due to unhygienic conditions. Then comes the helminthic disease. Helminthic diseases are Ascaris, filariasis. There are two helminthic diseases. The filariasis, you must have seen people with a very thick leg. It occurs only in the lower part of the body. It is called elephantitis. So, this disease is caused by the vector called Wucheria bancrofti. Wucheria bancrofti is the vector that causes this disease. Again, here, the Culex mosquito is responsible for carrying this Wucheria bancrofti. So, the Culex is the male mosquito who is responsible for the cause of filaria. So, you have understood what is infectious disease. infectious disease are caused by the bacteria and the viruses. They are viral disease, bacterial disease, protozoan disease, helminthic disease, and fungal disease. So I hope you have followed the infectious disease. Now we will talk about the non-infectious disease like the cancer. Cancer is another dreaded disease on this planet. Any person can have cancer of various parts and organs of their body if it is detected in the early stage. If you come to know about your disease, that you're suffering from cancer, you can easily get cured. But people are not aware of this disease for a long time, and then the stages linger and they become very dangerous, and finally the man dies of cancer because he is unaware. Most of the time people are unaware of this disease because they don't bother to check themselves, to go to the doctor and find out whether they are having any problem in their body. It is at the last moment when the disease has caused all the destruction in your body, then you may go to the doctor. So cancer is another non-infectious disease. Now comes HIV and AIDS. You must have heard about this. This has become a very common disease on this planet. HIV is human immunovirus, which is caused to human beings. And ultimately, we are the prey of this disease. So, what is AIDS? AIDS is a symptom where our body has lost all the immunity of our body. Immunity means our body has become so weak that we cannot fight any diseases, bacteria, virus that have entered our body. So we have become weak, and now even a simple cold, cough, fever can make us sick, and we get this disease AIDS. That is immunodeficiency syndrome. Now, the last of all is the adolescence, drug and alcohol abuse. This is not at all a disease. It is something social disease. So, drug abuse is a social disease. You see, most of the adolescent girls and boys, they have several friends in their schools and colleges. Some are good friends, but some are not. What happens? They drag them into the world of alcohol and drugs, and finally they become the prey of such diseases. This is when you take excess of drugs or alcohol, you misbehave in public, or you may isolate yourself. You may not feel good. You don't like the company of others, or sometimes even peer pressure makes you alcohol addict, like when the parents ask you to study and get a first class mark, or when your friends are doing well in the exam and you cannot do it. Sometimes then you start taking drugs, or sometimes many of your friends become hidden enemy. They take you to the world of the drugs. Here you should educate him. The person, if you have a brother or a sister who is a drug addict, you can educate him. You have to treat him in a good way, not abuse him, or not point out that you are taking drugs, you are a bad person. So there are many ways how you can treat the alcohol and drug abuse person. So I hope today you have learned many things about the human health and disease, how you can keep yourself healthy without making much effort, by taking good food, by taking good exercise, by breathing fresh air, and you can also get rid of yourself from all the infectious disease that are by vaccination, by sanitization, by educating yourself, your neighbors, your parents, your friends, and also controlling this disease. It is quite an interesting chapter. I hope you have enjoyed the chapter. Now, in the next video, I will tell you about another different topic. So, for today, it is goodbye, students. Stay home, stay safe.